menstrual.
No,
What's
it
up,
keeps popping
everyone?
out. No, it keeps,
Well, when
and then
you
I
do
can't
that,
tell which way.
when you do that, yeah, it does. Before you touched it, it was perfect.
It's because
But
I keep trying to
go on
fix the
then.
wrong side because it's not a mirror. It's a
You got to
thing.
mirror it, girl. That's the only way
Girl,
to do it.
that's why you keep messing up the two straws thing. Hey, it's us, two straws. I think you had it right.
Whatever.
I think that's
All
it. We
right,
have.
everyone.
Oh
Thanks
no,
for
you
joining
go.
us.
You do the intro. Go,
Yeah,
go,
that's my thing.
please.
We have a really special guest, our good friend, training partner, and now fellow strawweight. We have Meatball Molly McCann, and we're going to bring her onto the stage right now. Hello, lovely.
Hello, guys. Hi.
How are you doing? What time is it over there?
It's 8 p.m. I've had a nice roast dinner. I've had a nice milkshake. Getting
Just
fat again.
beefing back up to flyweight.
No. No, but I didn't enjoy making 115 for the first time, but it'll be easier the second, I think.
I would say, what was your process? Did you rely on the PI a lot? Did you diet down? Like, where did you come from, if you don't mind us asking?
So I was 63 kilo at my heaviest, which would have probably been about 140. And then I think that's that video that you put on
Yeah,
where
you
I
felt
am.
light.
Well, I felt like I didn't weigh light.
I was like, not too.
She's
not
just
too
a good
bad.
training partner. She knows how to, like,
She
Yeah, I'm
loaded
not a
herself.
dick.
You
I'm
loaded
not a
yourself
dick.
on me.
Yeah.
But I think on fight week, on the Sunday when I started to water load, I was like 7 pounds over, and
Oh,
then
easy.
I stayed on carbs the whole week. I ate 3 times on the Thursday, and the night before I cut 2.5 pounds, slept a pound off, so I only cut 3.5 really the day before.
That's beautiful. That's an amazing first cut.
I finally had abs. See them?
Oh, we saw them, girl. That's all we were staring at. Angela wasn't
Shit,
even watching you fight. She was just watching the abs.
that's what you said, wasn't you? You said I'm more impressed with Molly's abs than the armbar.
Oh, you muted yourself. You're still muted.
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Me. We're popping. I was so impressed because it's not something that you've had before. Like, when's the last time you had abs?
I must have been about 7, malnourished. You know when everyone was that broke, no one had food growing up?
Yeah.
Like then.
Yeah. No, I know those abs. I've had
Yeah.
those abs. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I mean, you had to have been impressed with yourself, not just with your performance, but your physique and your ability to get into strawweight fight shape.
Yeah, I think girls like I think, with me and Patrick, we always fight for the fans, and it's always about Liverpool, and there's so much pressure, and I think I just thought, fuck it, I'm only fighting for myself now. Like, no one else matters. Like, you might have had this kind of moments in your career where the penny just drops and you just think, like, that's it. It's all about me now. I'm going to be selfish. I'm not going to care about anyone else. It's my career and I'm doing it. And I think you're seeing, like, the whole fight week, I was just different. I'm not going to be emotional anymore. I'm just cold. And that's me from now on.
I liked how
You got to give yourself
calm you
permission
were.
at times,
Yeah. How where did that shift come from? Did you come to that on your own? Did you get like any guidance or anything like that to prepare mentally? Or
Do
tell
you
us
know?
about that.
Yeah, do you know I actually done a lot of therapy for this. After my last fight, I done a lot of therapy, and it was PTSD therapy for athletes.
Mm.
So if you imagine when we get beat, the level of, like, I know it's not, but we would feel it as athletes. The level of humiliation and shame that we would feel is, like, so high, and like the shame and the trauma. Like, I remember I was getting contracts for fights and being so fucking scared to lose. especially when they was in England. I'd be like that, oh, and then I wouldn't even enjoy the camp, and I wouldn't really enjoy the fight. That's why when I would win, I'm that ecstatic because that much stress is off my shoulders. But I worked with this guy called Martin, and he really helped me through, and we kind of cleared the blockage and the trauma cycle I kept feeling, and it felt like. Do you remember girls in Tough when you probably went into Tough and you was like, I'm going to be the next world champion, and everything was new and flashy, and you was just like, oh, I've got this, and you just enjoyed it. Like I felt like I was back there. I felt like I was back at the beginning, and maybe because it was that straw weight, it was a fresh start, and that's how I feel like I've kind of got through it.
It's funny you said that because my journal says exactly that. From I kept a journal in Tough because they took away all our books, all our media. We couldn't watch TV. So I kept the journal for the first time. And it's legit those silly little delusional thoughts that get a lot of people to the top, get a lot of people to being undefeated. And when you lose that, it's really hard to get that back. So it's really cool that you started doing sports therapy. I actually started doing sports therapy too. And going into a fight with the proper tools is such a big advantage over the person that you were without them.
Yeah, I think if not, the way you was explaining it to me is like you're just stuck in the cycle of trauma consistently. And what we actually came to realise is my trauma comes from obviously most combat athletes, bless you, Ange. Um, most combat athletes have a really traumatic upbringing, and and I think there's been loads of studies that endurance athletes and combat athletes had really traumatic beginnings to life. That's why they can keep pushing through like the hard parts of training and competition. And it basically was like daddy issues for me. He just said like your abandonment issues from a child attached themselves to fighting. So when you'd be in the gym and compete and do something right, you'd feel a connection with your coach because they'd be like, well done. And that was like when you felt content and felt happy. So when you started fighting and you lost, you'd feel like how you did as a kid when kind of nobody saw you or you felt them abandonment, like that trauma. So he was like, we'll go to work first on the fighting and then we'll go back to the trauma of being a kid and what you went through, and working it through all that. I kept being like in that fight camp, fucking hell, I'm really not nervous here. Like I'm sleeping 8 hours a night where normally I know you will have had it, especially on them big pay-per-view fight cards or against an opponent when you know it's going to be a tough night in the office. You can't sleep very well. You get like shite sleep, and I was having like 8 to 10 hours a night, and I was like, oh
Nice.
my God, is this what like normal life is for normal people?
Regulars with their regular hours of sleep.
Yeah.
I think it's beautiful that you really started to take that journey. A lot of people don't. I know I started fighting and it was therapeutic for me, but the Band-Aid stopped sticking, you know? So I started having to do that kind of work. What exactly did that process look like, if you care to share? Just, I think that vulnerability creates a lot of opportunity for other people to, reach out and help themselves as well.
100%. Do you know we have like the IMAF, the International MMA Federation? So the head of the English um, squad, his name was Martin, and he's actually took a step down now. But when I became a coach on the national team, he said like, if you ever need help, like let me know. And after my last fight, when I lost to Julia Storyalenko by armbar, that was me. Like I was like, I am done. Like I got like Ian Gary level of hate online. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, whoa. I haven't even done nothing wrong to anyone. Hey, dude.
So sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Keep going.
Mine here, look. Mine
She's a
is snoring.
protective one.
She's like, who the fuck is that?
Who's that scouser?
She scared him off. She's a good girl.
what was I say? Yeah, after that fight, I was just destroyed, and I
Mm.
reached out to him in the end, and I was like, "Look, I know what I went through as a young person will have to be unravelled one day, but whilst I'm fighting, I can't go there because if you open up Pandora's box, you don't know if it's going to stay open or if you can close it, or even if you can deal with it." So I just thought, no, I won't deal with that right now. So he was like, "Okay, we won't do cognitive behavioural therapy. We'll do something else called mind mapping and brain spotting." So brain spotting is basically you put like a certain frequency of music on, and he would tell me like what what you want to work through, and I was like, I want to work through the shame and the embarrassment and the guilt that I feel for losing. And he was like, right, think about them moments when you was in the cage, and I'd think about it, and he'd be like, how does that make you feel? And I was just saying like devastated, ashamed, blah 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 blah. And he was like, tell me what your body's doing. And I was like, my heart's beating fast. I get an overwhelming feel of like, I'm going to be sick in my belly. Like, that's the worst part. And I can't think straight. Like, my train of thought will break off. And then it's hard for me to think and recycle the thoughts and think again. And then he got this like long stick out, and I had like a red pointer at the end. And he was like literally moving it side to side. And he said, when your body feels something, just let me know. And I was like, are you messing? And he was going, no. And I was like, I can't feel fuck all. Is this a joke? He's going, no, just keep trying, just keep trying. So I kept trying. And then when it went there, he went, don't move, because he could see.
Mm.
He's seen like my eyes flicker. And he said, keep the music on, keep thinking about that moment of Julia breaking your arm. When you looked around and you was looking at 20,000 people like, and all this, and keep thinking about all the messages you read online, etc., etc. I must have looked at that pointer for 40 minutes.
Mm.
And then honestly, I was starting to fall asleep. And then he'd move the pointer again. And then we go back to the same point. And he said, tell me how you feel now. I was like, a little bit less, but not much difference. He's like, right, stay there. And then my eyes was just leaking.
Mm.
Like, so when Sean Strickland says like he doesn't cry, like his eyes were leaking. Like I wasn't crying, but my eyes was leaking. And we must have been at it for like 2.5 hours. And then he said, right, I want you to go to sleep now because you're going to keep processing. You're going to keep processing. And then when I woke up, he rang me and I was like, I have to check in the day after just to make sure you haven't got any suicidal thoughts, blah, blah, blah.
Mm.
I was like, no, I feel on top of the world. He's like, excellent. And then the next week we done it again and again and again. And like there was moments where I wouldn't feel a lot, but I'd feel lighter. And then there was moments on just where I was just like, I remember once we done one session and I was angry. And I was angry with people in my life when I was a lot younger. And I came off the phone and I cried. And my fiance Ellis had to hold me. And I mean, must have screamed for about 6 hours, like, ah, like proper, like someone had died. And I woke up the next day and I was like, that is such a big bit of trauma that has proper left my body, like proper
Mm.
gone. And then I was kind of fine from then, to be honest. Sessions a little bit shorter, less intense, but I haven't gone, I haven't fell back into any of them tendencies. You know, after the last fight when I won, I started getting anxious again.
Mm.
Because the second I got home, I was the big deal again. Everyone was back on me dick, do you know, like, oh, Meatball. And I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck off. Where have you been for the last year? Fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Of
Um,
course.
so I've said I want to be able to enjoy my life without being anxious if I'm losing or if I'm winning.
Mm.
So I've got another session on Wednesday. And it's a lot more positive this time round.
I
It's
love hearing
important
that.
though, because a lot of times it's easy to fall off once something works. It's easy to get too hyped because something works and feel like, oh, I'm cured, as opposed to continuing to do the hard looks at yourself and keep yourself at an even plane so that you're not spiking from the high of winning or dipping low from the suck of losing. And that's interesting that you said that he called you to ask if you were having suicidal thoughts. Is that practice really extreme? Do people a lot of times dip really low after doing that? Because it does seem like a really hard thing to do, to just stare at this point that's been upsetting you and face it.
Yeah, I think if I've been quite honest about it before, but I think before I lost to Erin Blanchfield, like when me and Paddy went on this big tear together, I was like proper having suicidal like thoughts,
Oof.
like, and the world was at my feet. Like we was just so burnt out. Like the UFC had us go and go and go, and it was after seeing yous and trained with yous in San Diego. I came home, and it was just like I just remember ringing my mum, like, Mum, I keep having these dreams that I'm gonna do myself in, and like I feel so overwhelmed every day. I haven't got the coping mechanisms and the tools to cope with this life. Like I have gone from a girl about town who's known to like known round the world, and I don't have boundaries set in place where I can be like, not today, no thank you. I'm just like, yeah, of course, yeah, no problem, blah blah blah. And it just got to a point where I was just fucked. And when I told Martin how low I've got, he was like, I will always check in to see if you've ever had that notion again. And I think that's a really good sign of a good therapist, someone who's really in tune, someone who's competed at the highest level. They kind of just know. But I also think what we processed and the trauma that I faced as a child was pretty like rough. So I think he was just checking in that it hadn't. I suppose some people might get caught up in it as well, and if they don't process it and work through it, they might be stuck in that cycle still.
Yeah.
So,
We get a lot of suicide in the fight community. A opponent of mine who I feel like maybe you knew her, but a lot of people that I know knew her. Ashley Nichols, she committed suicide just a few days ago.
what?
And yeah, do you knew her?
Yeah. Well, I never met her, but I knew.
Yeah.
Was she on Tough?
I don't think she was on Tough. It was Ashley Nichols. She's a indigenous fighter
Yeah,
out of Canada. She was
yeah,
Muay
no,
Thai fighter. I fought
yeah.
her in Muay Thai, and then she transitioned to MMA. And I did a post about her, and like maybe 10 girls that I trained with knew her, either trained with her or fought her or just knew her. She was on a tear, like you were saying. She was on a 3-fight win streak. And it doesn't matter. The pressure, if it's looming, it builds. And whether you're on a high or a low, it can overtake you. So I'm really happy that you had people to talk to, because I think a lot of times there's a stigma in the MMA community or in fight community where you feel like you're weak for reaching out, for saying you need help. As much as we focus on mental awareness, like there's still always going to be that voice in the back of your head saying, "Don't say shit, don't be a little
Yeah,
bitch."
yeah, yeah,
And and it's just chemicals. It's just it's a reaction to trauma. It's a reaction to the stress that we put on ourselves. So I'm really happy that you were able to get the help you needed and find people qualified to talk to, because it can go the wrong way for so many people. And it's kind of a common theme. I hear a lot of fighters dying young for those reasons.
yeah. I think fucking hell, what we do isn't normal, is it? Like we put ourselves in these positions, which is fight or flight continuously, and yeah, and I don't know. Like I say, everyone who's probably doing what we do predominantly has been through quite a lot. So I think you get to your mid-30s and then you've had enough of your own bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Or like maybe even before, but I kind of like, I think men are a little bit later on than women. I think men like reach their bit like a little bit after us, and then you always see them have like a bit of a midlife crisis where I think the women I think we get it a bit more worse for everything online and everything else, and I just think we just deal with it a lot quicker. we're quick to analyse and assess and fix.
Mm.
I think there's an even bigger stigma attached to males in the sport. Like, you have to be strong, you have to be this, you have to be that. So do women. But I think that females, just in general, it's a little bit easier for us to be vulnerable, for us to reach out for help before men do, before it gets bad. Oh,
Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Hi, love. This is me meal preps. I'm back on a diet tomorrow.
Ooh.
Okay.
oh, fun
Hang on.
stuff.
Hang on. Let me just put this down. Sorry, I'm just on a podcast there. Thanks, doll. See you after.
What you got? What's for dinner?
I've already had it, but look, we've got chocolate protein school cake,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Spanish tortilla, Cocoa Pops, overnight oats. Like, well, you've seen me and Paddy can strip fat, and it's on that. Like, Paddy, it makes me laugh because Paddy always used to say, like, the fat just like melts off me, and I was thinking, how the fuck does it do that? But it does when you stick to the macros.
I think his head makes him look bigger than he is too.
Hey, but did you see it? Hey, did you see, in his last fight, he started. So if I say in kilos, all of his fights in the UFC would normally start at like 92, and this time he started at 85 to make 70 kilo.
Wow.
And
Ah.
what did you see the shoulders on him? He was like that. He was
No,
massive,
he looked really big and lean. He
He
looked
and
and
he had
good
we
in the other
cornrows,
fight.
and
yeah,
he
and
had
fight night too. He was huge on fight night.
Yeah, people can get away with that sort of like yo-yo dieting and that big roller coaster of a weight cut for a while, but I mean, you start getting up in age and it gets a little bit more challenging to cut the weight, to lose the fat, and you start having to really like properly prepare for it.
Yeah, that's what I noticed about this fight. I was thinking, you can tell me if I'm right or wrong. I don't think I'd still be fighting now if I'd had to do all of them big weight cuts for like 10 years. I don't think I'd still want to do it all the time. If I was living the life that I used to live, where I'd be a little bit less accountable when it comes to like food. And I also said to me coach Paul, I don't think I was technically good enough for the 115 division, because I think the 125 division is a bit more of like a brawler weight category. And I think the 115, stylistically, everyone is so sound. And I think I finally put enough time and effort into the grappling to now be ready there, and to be ready to have a good run in this division now.
So we talked about people, cutting a lot of weight for that advantage, but they're normally missing the the filling in the gaps of technique. And I have to commend you because you not only, cut weight to honestly a more fitting weight class, like height wise, size wise for you, but you
Mm-hmm.
also filled in a ton of gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And I really admire and respect that and appreciate that because normally people just do it so that they don't have to put in the work, but you did both. And it's really commendable and admirable.
Thanks, Jess.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think you had a choice when you got into the UFC? Like, was there a moment where you were like, I could either cut a bunch of weight and be in 115 or I'm a 25er? Because I feel like when you got into the UFC, you were pretty settled in that weight class,
Fat.
right?
Fat.
I said settled.
Thanks. I was
Like
shocked.
the fat
I
was
was
settled.
shocked. I got into the UFC from heart, like just this. Like there was no science. We didn't really know what we was doing. I fucking had a good go when I got in there. I just had a fight, and I feel like with more success, the more opportunities has arisen for like more science-based training, nutrition, and testing. And I remember after me UFC debut loss, I had a DEXA scan, and they basically said you're gonna have to cut like £10 the night before still to make 115. So you may as well just stay at this division, but do correct strength and conditioning and do correct like macro periodization meal preps. I was like, okay. And then I got away with it. I feel like I can beat most 125 strikers. I think I can even beat most grapplers, but when they're grappling, when I'm fighting the black belts who are the elite of the elite, if they get me down, I was struggling too much to get back up because they know how to use their weight and they know how to keep me down. And I was just done after my last loss, like girls. I was just done. Like the next day, we was on the train going home, and I was like, I'm done. And my coach Paul just said, I swear to God, if I think you couldn't be in the mix of it, I'd just tell you to go to boxing. He said, but I swear, just please give me one fight, drop down to this weight, and look, watch how easy it'll be. And I honestly trained like I was getting ready to fight Amanda Nunes for that fight. People can say what they want about Diane Balbita, but she gave Carolina like a close fight in the fight that they had before this one, and I just been finished twice in the first round both times. So I mean, so she asked for the fight, she got it, and I think
Oh,
you could
nice.
see it.
I didn't know
it
she asked for it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
she
I
asked.
didn't know that either.
Nice.
So I've never turned down a fight, girls. I've took everyone I probably shouldn't have, just as much as you haven't. And I just think at the end when I won, I literally just like fell on the floor and I was just like, fucking hell, kids, you've just proper done it there. Like you showed boxing, you showed Thai boxing, you showed wrestling, you showed jiu-jitsu and you showed MMA ground and pound. Like you literally put on a clinic there. And I was just like, fucking hell. My God, I did it.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you with the whole you wouldn't be around if you were doing 115 for what would you say 10 years? Just because there's
Well,
a
I wasn't
different
cutting weight right though. Like I was cutting
yeah.
weight wrong. So I think you both always, you Americans, you always eat well. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
What
like,
are
You
you
should have seen us last night at the fights, girl.
yeah.
also you realize the leading cause of death here is obesity, right?
No, but
It's
you
like heart
always have
disease.
six
Heart
pack.
attack.
No, but you are always in shape. I still look like a meatball now. 2 weeks
Let's see
after.
it. I want to see the abs. Shirt off. Hey,
There we
it's still
are.
flat. It's still
No,
flat.
it speaks.
Oh, please. That's
Girl.
nothing. That's
I
your
haven't had a
fight
flat stomach
weight.
since I was a 105er. Like
I'm
That's
I
I'm like one as heavy as I would walk into the cage at 125 is what I am now. I'm like
that's what it looks like. You don't look anything
133,
more than that.
135.
Okay. That's normal. That's a normal straw weight.
yeah.
Not a
What
big
do you
straw
Yeah.
walk
weight, not a
around at?
small one. I'm like I try to stay around 130.
Yeah, that's what I would like to be at. Just
Yeah.
so the camp doesn't become about a lot of running. You can
Mhm.
still eat and just train right.
Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
fight like at my like training size as
Yeah.
opposed to fighting heavy or fighting too small. So I try to stay around there and then it's like same when I get in there after I rehydrate. I'm about 125-ish, something like
Yeah.
that.
I think I was 123.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
That means
And
you dieted down. You did right.
and the difference too, like I my main training partner right now is Jenna, but as soon as I
okay, well,
have like
when I seen her warm and when you was cutting weight in that changing room on your last fight, I seen like the post. I was like, wow, Jenna looks big. And you're
yeah.
like still lifting it up and playing.
I know, yeah, but I'm saying like it is whenever I get the privilege of training with a straw weight who's actually a straw weight, not just a big ass flyweight cutting down the straw weight, then I'm just like, oh man, you're so light. And I can see you had that little moment when you did the big DC single leg
Oh, she
lift off of the
flared
cage. Like
her.
she almost went out the cage
Well,
because
I
all of a
promised
sudden
him,
she's so light.
yeah, I promised him. I said, I get this on all the boys in the gym, but it just never came to fruition. I always get like a good blast double leg. Like I've had a good few ones then, but to get that high crotch, I was fucking buzzing. More buzzing with that than I was the armbar.
Yeah, that was the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Like I did the DC and I armbarred her and I have abs. No, it was sick. It was definitely that's definitely on my bucket list of things to do in the cage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I know. I'm gonna try and
So
get a
have they
head kick next.
said?
Wait, what'd you
Head
say?
kick. Head kick.
Oh, there you go.
I might be able to reach someone's head. She had 6 inches reach on my arms. I was like, for fuck's sake.
You need one of these little meatball wrestlers to get that one on.
Yeah,
Do,
you
hey, do
came
you
down to
know?
straw weight to avoid that kind of thing.
I know. I have actually got the smallest reach in the whole of the UFC.
In
Ah,
the
that's
hole.
funny.
In the whole of
Shorter
the
than
No.
Sejudo's?
Come on.
That's
I think
great.
before me it was Hannah Gold. But
No
now
way.
she's been cut. It's
Oh, okay.
Oh,
62 inch.
gee.
Dang, she did have some T-Rex arms. They were like short but meaty.
She
But I
was,
think that
it's because her traps were so big, they just like zapped up her arm length.
yeah. But
She's a
it's
strong girl.
short reach
Mm.
isn't always the worst thing. You get really tight hooks, you get like power on anything that comes in at an angle, and they're just kind of piano catting while you punch them in the face. So it's not always the worst thing, especially if you have like head movement, footwork, which you have. Yeah. Yeah. You could do it.
Have they said
What's
anything about what's next for you?
I, you know me, when I was drunk after the fight, I ended up on One Girls. We had the best night in Vegas ever. I ended up in, is it Resort World? We went to go and watch Dead Mouse with Michaela Meyer. Oh,
I love
Okay.
her.
Nice.
She's my Boston girl crush.
she's like one of us, isn't she? Because I feel like when I first
Yeah,
met you
she's
guys, I was
awesome.
like in, and when I first met her, I was like, oh, I can fuck with you, like you're cool.
Hey.
Um, I
Yeah, she
think,
seems fun.
yeah, I think they always do one in England in July, and I believe they're trying to say it's like Manchester, which is like about 20 miles away from my house. So
Oh,
that's like the northwest of England where we live. So that'd be cool. But I don't know if I'm given. I reckon I just need 8 weeks to make the weight correct. Since being home, I've trained twice a day. Since I've got two jiu-jitsu competitions booked for March, April, May.
nice. And that
Um,
keeps you in shape too, because you have to make that weight. So,
I know under 60 kilo. What one do you compete at?
I did a few different ones, but I'm gonna do ADCC, the 21 kilo and under, I think. Not kilos. What is it? 21. Oh no, 121 and
Okay,
under,
okay,
but I
yeah.
think it's 50 something,
Do you know?
56 or 55?
Yeah, 56.
55 and under or
Yeah,
56 and under.
55, yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
what we should do? We should all do the Masters Worlds. It's in August in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm planning on it. My one of my professors just asked me if I was going, so I'm gonna try to
But
do that.
will your foot be better then, Jess?
You know what? I was supposed to do it last time, but then I had the old foot issue. So yeah, I would love to do that. I've really been wanting to do that. I just got cleared from the boot to like work out, but I still have to keep a shoe on, so I can't do anything barefoot yet. But
Can you
I'm starting to
wrestle?
get.
Not wrestle. Could you do you mean just to be at the gym, or can you do jiu-jitsu with wrestling boots?
I have to have a special orthotic insert just so it takes the pressure. I know, I'm like old lady style. I have to keep the pressure off of like the ball of my foot because that's where the break is. And it's just, it has terrible circulation. It's weight bearing. And like anything up on the ball of my foot is problematic. So I started physical
No
therapy last
heels.
week. I started doing no heels. I have pixie shoes too.
I
Damn it.
know.
But yeah, they said one more month they want me to stay just in the shoe with the orthotic, and then we'll start doing barefoot stuff. But my foot's super locked up just from like being in a fixed position for so long. So I'm excited to touch the mat again, to be barefoot. I
Yeah.
haven't been barefoot in like a year.
Just hit like some conditioning last week though, because she got cleared and
Oh,
got a entry back into being an athlete.
it hurt. It hurt so bad. It made me
I,
want to take a nap like I was a 60-year-old. It was
hey,
rough.
at least like because you'll be able to do it like in stages. It's not going to hit you like, do you know? Oh, sometimes when I do fight comps, the first 3 weeks, I'm like, oh my fucking god, me hips.
It feels like that, but I'm
So
not actually doing fight camp intensity, but it feels like that's the equivalent of that's how bad a shape I'm in right now. That's what
you,
it feels like.
like you're in red zone all the time.
Yes, yes. It's so bad. My red zone is significantly like moved down though. It's like 150 is red for me, and I'm just like,
But you probably eat better now than you probably ever have because you can't train or you couldn't train.
you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely I've always eaten what I wanted because I could work out, and so this was a little rough on me for a
Aw.
few months. It was a little rough. I started counting the macros. I started doing all that stuff, like counting carbs, which is something I've never had to do because I couldn't sweat properly. I couldn't work out.
We
It
never
was rough.
fucking sweat here anyway, Jess. Honestly, get ready, get ready for that fight. It was like minus fucking 15,
Oh,
snow, ice,
Oh.
and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna miss weight. I was starting to add up in my head like, fuck, how much money does that mean I'm missing? And then when I was like, that's the equivalent to like an average person's annual wage. I thought, not a fucking chance.
That's why you got to be out here, man. It's wintertime and we still get up to the high 60s.
I know
people
when
are
I,
Sunny.
surfing again.
yeah,
People are
We can have fun
surfing.
on the mats.
Yeah,
what
Ian Gary took his girl to the beach for Valentine's Day. I heard while he was out here.
I'm gonna come in April. I'm gonna
Okay,
go to I want to go to
to
UFC
Graham Sting.
300. No, but UFC 301, which is in um Rio, because it's on my birthday, May
Oh,
4th.
oh,
So,
okay,
Nice.
but before then, I thought I'd fly to San Diego, train for 2 weeks, and then go there.
nice. I'll
When are
maybe
you
be
out?
fighting May 18th, so we get some work in.
I know you'll head kick me, and I'll just grab you in a single leg.
Just black double that. Black
No,
double
no,
would be
yeah,
good
yeah.
kicking you.
Lift me. Lift me. I'll be
We'll
so
do that.
skinny.
We'll do that. Kevin, what is it? Kevin Fingy when he lifts the woman at the end. What's that film?
Yeah, Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, that's the one.
uh,
Yeah,
You know,
the
I've been
last.
wanting to do that challenge, but I'm probably not strong enough to hold her. So Meatball, step in.
yeah, there you go.
I'll step up to the plate for you. Don't worry, love.
Oh,
I'll
I
work
love
on
you.
my form.
Look at my eyes. Oh my God.
uh,
When what was I going to say? I don't know. It's your podcast. It's not mine. Sorry.
yeah, well, I think that's all we have for you.
Yeah.
Is there I mean, I loved what you were saying in the beginning about the mental stuff, and I could just see it written all over your face and the
Mhm.
media and the face off, like everything. You said you got like Ian Gary level hate. What
In
kind
that
of
last,
stuff what were they saying? If you don't mind rehashing
it's
this
just
horrible moment in your life.
that, like,
Good job,
I'm
Ed.
so at peace. I'm so at peace. It's
Curious.
fine. It just be stuff like fucking. Why don't you kill yourself? I hope your baby's born Down syndrome.
Ah,
Yeah.
I hate the ones where they're like, I've lost my fucking mortgage on you because I put a bet on you.
see, that
Uh,
one's not as bad as the other two to me. I'm
no,
like, what the
no,
fuck?
but they'll go in on my family and
Mm,
just, I don't know, maybe if you're a bit fragile on something and they touch a nerve, like, I
Sure.
swear to God, I don't miss a session. I don't. I give me life to this game. As hard as I train, I do the media side. I try and make everyone laugh and just enjoy the space, exactly like what you used to. And I think, like I say, it got that bad. I don't know why it gets that bad. DC even said, because me and Paddy come up so quick, that's what happens. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
fucking hell, I haven't done nothing wrong to receive it. But I also think if it's annoying for them to see me celebrate, but I'm like, fuck, kid, where I'm from and what I've managed to achieve, that was never in my stars. That was never written for me. And like when I've had them big moments in front of the world, I feel like I've the same as what you both have because you've been in the game for so long. You've grown up in front of the world. You've matured in front of the world, and that's what I was trying to say in all the media stuff. Is like me and Paddy literally just got dropped into the ocean and was just trying to swim. We might have said some things wrong or that was distasteful or said some really good things, and I think we've just tried to learn. And what I was always so much trying to make it an experience for everyone else that when you seen it this fight week, I was just like, fuck you. I'm not even staring off with my opponent because it's not me versus you, it's me versus me. So I'm not even entertaining you. It's me versus me. Do you know what I mean?
Love that.
No, I love that. It's so important. Nobody, no, like there's no playbook on this. We're all just trying to figure it out. We're all human. We're all trying to do
Mm,
our best. And I got to say again, I really appreciate your vulnerability, your honesty, and just your perseverance. It really is inspiring.
yeah.
Thanks, love. You can't go out on. Do you know when you're having a shit go, you've just got to keep on going, haven't you? Because people need
Yeah.
inspiration. People need to see that you can still do it. And I think it takes the power away from the trolls a little bit.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've read it all. You could say anything to me now, and I'd be like, all right, say something original. I've heard that before. Do you know what I
mm.
mean? But I don't know. Just, I think, like, if I could ever leave one piece of advice or one profound statement, is like, you're not owed anything in this earth or on this world. Like, you can train as hard as you can eat the right food, you can go above and beyond, and it's not your right to win. Do you know what I mean? You still have got to work for it. So nothing's nothing's given. You've got to go and get it.
Nice. Is the inspiration part your main drive right now, you think? Inspiring others by just going and trying and being yourself?
I haven't believed I could win a belt for a long time,
Mm,
and after that fight, I'm not getting carried away with myself. I'm very aware that Diane Bellbeater is not Whaley, like very much away. But I think if I apply myself, I can fucking have a good go. I can get right up in them rankings and see where we can go from there. So I think, I don't know if it's proper weird to say, but like I've inspired
just
myself.
fucking say it,
No,
yeah. Like
I'm my own inspiration. I don't know
yeah.
if that's dead narcissistic, but I think, fuck, there's not many you can take on the chin the shit the world threw at me and still moonwalk through it all. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes, no, it's so true, and I think a lot of times when we have a step back, we're almost embarrassed to say that we believe in ourselves, and
Yeah.
you fucking like you need it. There's no way to get through this world if you don't believe in yourself. So I love that. Good for you, man. I'm happy you found that for yourself with this fight.
Yeah.
Hope you find it for the next one too.
I know I've asked for ranked opponents. I said I'm not here for a fucking long time. So I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So give me someone top 15, top 10.
Nice, nice. Anyone you have your eyes on? Or just like a fight that even if it's not your next fight, you know it's gonna be a good fight.
I'd love to fight Michelle Waterson or Baby Shark because I had
Ah,
one round with Baby Shark and it was very competitive. And
mm.
I think we'd have a good go. And I feel like Michelle Waterson fighting her is like a stylistic good fight for both of us.
Mm.
And she's little. And she's in the rankings, so
You get the head kick with her, that's for sure.
hey, well, do you know what? I think I said this to you, right? I wouldn't fight you unless it was for a belt, but I reckon we could get
Aw,
the bad motherfucking belt. We could have a female BMF belt.
yeah. That'd be awesome. We could start by just throwing 20 spinning elbows.
Steve
Who
knocked
let
out the other one first.
power elbow champion?
Sick. Yeah.
No, for sure, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
I had to do a lot of like searching, inner searching and stuff to get that drive back, and it really is special once you feel that belief in yourself again.
Yeah, I think so. But I always thought you've been a gangster anyway. I think the
Oh,
way that you handle the media, how you just try and make it fun and not boring, and you're so different. Do you know what I mean? It like hurts me to know that you didn't have it because you the shit girl.
stop it! You're the shit.
I know you the shit.
No, you're the shit. Just the shit too. You ain't the shit. You a fart. No.
Oh
No,
my
that's a
gosh.
diss. That's a diss. You're not a fart. You're the shit.
Yeah. Fucking hell, look, I look like a meatball. How red have I got? Wow. Hey, you're gonna
The
love
cheek
this.
in her
Oh,
blush.
we did
No,
before we let you go, we did have a couple questions.
no, but I've got to
Um,
tell you something before the
oh,
questions.
okay, go for it. Yeah, sorry.
I've got a scramble. It's like a jacket, but it's like a cardigan, but a gi jacket.
Ooh.
Ooh,
I'm
because you're a grappler now.
scared.
You can wear that.
Scared. I am jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Yes.
I love it.
One on Pilates and got one armbar win. I'm fucking jiu-jitsu now.
I love
Wearing
it.
geese down the street. Mm.
Yo, I got gold
Go
medal
on.
beating a blue purple belt division in nogi, so I'm a grappler too.
I was laughing. AJS, I literally walked into the World Championships and fucking Ange was on the mat. It's like, let's go, Angie.
I love that. That was so I
Oh,
was pumped. I was like,
dude,
"Oh,
that gave
I
her
have
like
one fan and it's
extra
Molly."
life.
Did you say a white hand?
Oh, no, I said I have one fan and it's
Oh,
Molly, but
sorry,
I
but yeah, I
mean,
seen a white hand.
I have one white fan.
I'm
It's
more red. I'm more red than anything, honestly.
You
oh,
count. It's
man.
fine.
Hey, go on, give me the
You're lumped in
question.
with that demographic.
Yes. Okay. Your meatball comment reminded me of the questions. MVB asked, meatballs aren't really a thing. Where's she from? Has she had a real Italian meatball or not? So yeah, meatballs aren't a thing from where you're from. So have you had a real Italian meatball?
I've never even kissed an Italian person, but eh, no, I've had what have I? No, no, I've made the best meatballs because I can't fucking stand them.
Ah.
So we've made them so nice. We make them with Italian sausage and then beef mince instead of pork.
Ooh, you're gonna have to
Like a
drop a
Marley
recipe.
And cook for us when you come.
Yes.
I
Yo,
fucking will. Here's you be flyweight next.
I need it, man. You gotta make like keto ones for Jess.
Ooh, sorry, dropped my
What is
phone.
keto? Is keto like low calorie or no? Keto
No
is
carbs.
like oh no carbs. Oh well, I guess they're all
High
keto.
Jess
protein,
can
high
fuck
fat.
off. Jess
Okay.
can fuck off.
Mm. All right. One more question. Who's the most or Big Leo for ZS? Who's the most underrated fighter in your opinion, male and female?
Hmm, that is such a hard one.
Dun, 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 dun,
Can you?
dun,
Can
dun,
you?
dun,
Pressure's on. Pressure's on,
dun,
and you have
dun,
to answer.
dun,
You can't
dun, dun,
disappoint the fans.
Fucking hell, guys!
dun, ba.
I'm just gonna say Arnold Allen.
Ah, nice.
Just from England. I think I think he is so underrated for how good he is at wrestling, at jiu-jitsu and at striking. I know he's had like bit of a rough last two fights, but I feel like on his day, like when you've seen some of his finishes on his day, he can have a good go.
Mm.
I'm gonna hate myself that I haven't had a good think about this one.
It's okay. It's to be put on
No,
the
those ones
spot.
are
So
hard. Yeah, those ones are really
yeah.
hard to do. I hate those during fight week. You're like low carb, you're comfortable or whatever, and people ask you these questions like
What
you're
was
just
that
supposed to.
question they asked you? They were like, "Oh, how do you feel about, I don't know, women, women's rights, or something like that?" They asked you the
Oh,
most
it was
loaded.
for because it was women's something like it was
It
like
was like Women's Month or something like that.
yeah, it
So
was our
they
month.
always try and throw that one. Do you know what I always
What are you
get?
doing?
I always get the do you think that transgender should be allowed to fight shout because I'm gay and
Ah,
I'm in the community?
yeah.
I'm like, no, no. Sorry if I fuck
No,
you up
if
in your
they say
face,
yes,
but
that means
no.
they haven't actually ever been punched in the face before because they would not be saying that if they knew what it was like.
I
I
feel
know.
like if you're fighting someone who's trans, it's gonna be a hell of a fight because they have some trauma for sure. Like,
Hey, but remember, I always say when Ashley fought Fallon Fox,
hmm
he's, hey,
But did she know she was trans when they fought, or
Yes,
she
yes.
yeah.
did? Okay. I
Yeah, they
feel
were
like
having trouble booking her.
if you know, then a person can make a choice whether they're gonna do that dumb
Would
idea
you
to
fight?
fight
I'd
someone.
fight a fella. I'd
I would
fight a fella
never.
at 115. I would just have a go. Fuck
You
it.
would, just for fun.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were to do it, it'd have to be like exhibition or something. Like I wouldn't want
I'd do
to
it in the
have this.
car park of the bar.
I would do it for street beefs. There's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite street beefs fighters is, I think, trans. I'm not sure if they like transition or not, but there's this fighter named Gash. Favorite
Do you know what
street
gas
beefs.
means?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
That's why it's
I didn't know if it was an England and American thing.
yeah, it's
No,
her name is Gash.
it
I know.
translates
I
to
know her
sweet.
pronouns.
Oh, man. Oh.
But yeah, they always ask me the Black History questions too.
Oh yeah, you get them.
If I'm fighting like December through February, I'm gonna get a nice heaping Black History question. Who's your favorite
Like,
You
Black
gotta
fighter?
you gotta prep people with those questions for fight week.
I know.
Yeah. Well, you know
You're not
everybody
running on
who
all cylinders.
everyone who wants to be a comedian is gonna say Mike Perry. Favorite Black fighter. Yep, that's the one. But yeah, they need to
It's
prepare us
fun.
for sure. We need a cheat sheet.
Yeah.
For sure. All
Well,
right, Molly, we
thanks,
don't want to keep you too
Molly.
much longer. Thank you so much for coming on. We're so happy for you and your success and can't wait to see what you do next in the division. And we can't wait to see you in a few months.
I know. Listen, I even said to Jenna, like, say the last 2 weeks of April, or maybe the first week of May, one or the other.
Nice. And she might be fighting sometime in April for something. So I
I
just
hope.
realized I can't say it, but she might be fighting
Hey,
April too. So
Brave. I hope she's leaving somewhere and going somewhere else and gets to go.
hey. We need to will it. We need to will it.
Listen, my affirmations are fucking tight, so I'll get to work. I'll start manifesting and affirming.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Do it.
Hey, do you reckon she could make straw weight or not?
I've seen her at 25 and she's tiny.
Well, at
She's
weigh-ins, she's
she's a
like a
stick.
lollipop head, isn't she?
Yeah, she's just like starving Marvin, like just super
Uh,
skinny, like no torso. She looks bigger from the front, but when she turns to the side, you can't see her. You know what I mean? Like yeah. But I mean, I've told her too, she should try, or not should try, but like she's not bigger than the biggest straw weight. So there's always a possibility. But all right. All right,
All
you're
right, we're
all
gonna wish
wrapped
you
up
good
like a
night,
little
Molly.
meatball
Yeah.
sub. Yeah, so we're gonna let you go. Thanks so much for your time.
it's kicked in. Bye.
All right.
Oh man. I love that girl. I can't wait till she comes back out.
Dude, she looks so comfy. I'm about to go do the same thing, even though it is 1 o'clock. It's 1
Listen, we
p.m.
had a really late night. I think we could both use a little nap.
My legs are still tired trying to impress Sean O'Malley.
You were impressing the hell out of me. I couldn't believe it. You didn't stop up that hill. You just
No,
kept going. I was like, wow.
I thought about stopping, and then we came around the corner, and I saw that they were still there at the top of the hill. So I was like, okay, no, we're doing it. Got my army run going.
Oh my God, that was impressive. It was very impressive.
Thank you.
Was
All
not
right,
impressed
guys.
that none of the gentlemen offered us their seat, but that's for another show.
No, they were very unimpressive in that sense.
No gentlemen on that golf cart.
I like how O'Malley was behind us when we were walking towards the golf carts, and then
And just
we got big time for sure. I looked at Corey.
we did.
Corey McKenna was with us, and I said, "We're about to get big time," and it happened.
Yeah.
But it was
You did it. You manifested that.
I didn't manifest it. I just set my bar low so I wouldn't be hurt.
It's okay. Oh, you muted yourself. But yeah, it was a great time last night. I'm so happy that we got to, join in all the festivities and feel that energy. It felt good. I haven't experienced that in a while.
Yeah, I wish they came to San Diego or to SoCal more often. We always have a good time when they come out here. They said they'll be back soon though.
Hopefully they're
So
coming back down to San Diego. Hopefully it's not like Northern California or something like that.
yeah, no one wants to
Nobody
go
wants to
there.
go there.
Yeah,
No.
alpha male show. All right. Well, this has been another Two Straws.
We'll see you next time, guys. Oh.
Bye.